Hello, hello, everybody. Today is March the 14th. It is about to be 8 p.m. Just see if I can get some people in the room first, and then we gonna get started. John, what's up, bro? We gonna get started. Hope everyone's having a good week. You know, finding something successful, finding something positive, something that they can latch on to and have a good week with, or just anything at all. You know, we gotta live life to the best of our abilities. We gotta live life to the best of our abilities and do the best we can with it. That's all it's about. Being uplifting, being positive, and being successful. I think that's what we all want. So, just see if we can get some people in here. Wait for our guest. And we're going to get started as soon as that happens. Oh, yes. But I'll tell everyone a little bit about my guest tonight. Local sensation. She goes by the name of Andromeda. Very, very, very good person. Great vibe. Great energy. She's an R&B singer, among other things, which we'll get into. But she's really, really talented and really, really, really makes really good music. Can't stress that enough. She's an entrepreneur in her own right, and she's got a lot to unfold. Many layers to her. So I'm looking forward to this. Very much so. All this other stuff going on here. All right. There she is. Good. Um, why, hello.
Hey, hey,
How you doing?
good. Oh, there's filters in here. I'm on a dark mode. Okay.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You got to be in some kind of mode. I appreciate you coming on
Thanks for having me.
of course, and having this conversation because, you know, it's important that with me trying to build a platform
Mm-hmm.
that I make sure that I have guests that are either established a platform or building one of their own. And you are on your way to doing that.
It's true.
You are on your way to doing that. Thank you to everyone in the room.
Thank
And you know, you have a very strong following. As soon, I think your reel that I made, the original one out of the ones I've done, this is the third episode. This one, that one got the most views.
you.
So you definitely have a following. And I must say, um, you are truly a vibe. And I've met you once and got to see you perform. But I had to do really some really in-depth research about you.
What you mean? What are you talking about? That sounds
Well,
suspicious.
when I say that is that I have to, part of my job is to study the topic, right?
Okay, fair.
So I have to know certain things about you without you telling me those things.
Okay.
So you you have you are you've put a lot of stuff out. You've said a lot of things, and there's things. For example, for example, I'll say that one of the things we'll get into is I know that you've thought about if you weren't singing that you would want to do social work.
Yeah,
You see,
for sure.
that's something that I hit your little link tree and boom, Andromeda was there. So we're gonna get right into it. So I want to know, and I'm sure the people want to know: Are you originally from Newburgh?
Yeah, so born and raised Newburgh native. Vibes, what's up? And slash, stop it.
Oh man, you born and raised in Newburgh. What were your experiences like growing up?
Um, I would say I had a very diverse upbringing, and I'm very grateful for that. Obviously, New York is a melting pot in general, but Newburgh also in itself, like, there's just so many cultures, so many different personalities, so many different lifestyles. Like, I feel like I got an appreciation for every type of person here, and that's what I'm grateful for. Like, as far as like being raised here, and as well as the nature. The nature is phenomenal. Come
Yes.
here, go on a hike, especially during fall. Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because a lot of people get the when they hear the word Newburgh, they get this bad idea, this bad vibe, like, oh, you can't live there. People get shot there.
It's true.
People get robbed there. People do this there. And it's just like, listen, that can happen anywhere. Doesn't matter.
Right.
It could happen in Warwick, walking down the street there. People just have this false narrative, if you will, about Newburgh.
That's very
Um,
true.
some of the things that they say are true, but it's not all bad.
Nothing can
It's not.
ever be all bad.
No, no, no. You have to look at the positive things in life and look at it from both perspectives. Newburgh's got a lot of talent. It's got a lot of positivity, and
Hmm.
don't people just don't want to accept that for whatever reason. They want to push this narrative. So that's good that you were able to have those experiences. But for you, your voice is different. Like, you don't sound the way you speak. Like, and when I say that is like when you hear someone talk, sometimes the way that they talk, you can tell it's them, but your voice, it's just different. It's hard to explain. Like, I was telling a friend of mine at work today, um, about this interview, and I said she's dope, she's amazing. And I said to him, I said, if I were to take, and a lot of artists don't like to be compared, but sometimes some artists like to take it as a compliment.
Hmm.
I would say for you, if I were to take Janae and Nico and I were to take Thames and put them together, that is your voice.
So I know you've heard a little bit more music than like other people because I've shared some unreleased with you too.
Yeah.
So like you have a different idea of my vibe when it comes to music than the people who only listen to my released music have at the
Yes.
moment. So
That's
that's interesting.
true. That's true. I mean, maybe that's an unfair advantage, but you know what? That's just the speculation that I get from listening. But I have to know, and I have to know, what age did you start singing?
So I started singing very young. What I remember most vividly as far as like first like singing or like musical memories is outside of like just performing in my room for like my Barbie camera setup that I had. Um I would literally be on the school bus in kindergarten and I would be singing with my childhood best friend. Her name was Sarah. And we'd
Okay.
be sitting in the bus together and we'd be like having like American Idol, like just between us. We're judging each other. We're like, wait, you did a little, that riff right there was not it. Or like, wait, more power. Or like, oh, you're too soft. I need to hear you. You know what I mean? So we do that in the front seat in the bus like every single day together. And
Wow.
we would sing like Rihanna and Beyonce and stuff like that. So that's like some of my first singing memories.
Rihanna and
Yeah.
Beyonce. Lord, that just makes me like I'm not that much older than you, but like it still like makes me like you saying Rihanna and Beyonce were your first memories. It's just like wow. You know, meanwhile I'm like Mary J. Blige and you know what I mean?
Well,
Like
definitely with the family, but like as far as like me finding my own like singing style and like singing outside of that, it was definitely that as far as first memories.
yeah, no, I understand that. I can see what you're saying, and that's a beautiful thing. You know, you've had a love for music. So I also know that it's not just singing. It's not just singing that you love. You played an instrument when you were in school.
Yeah, I used to play the flute, a little a flutist. Me and like actually my I was just with her today. I have like a best friend from like middle school and we used to play in band together and we were in chorus together and we just went on a hike today.
So you was ready. You was like, all right, just gearing up, hiking. Ooh. It was a beautiful day though.
It was gorgeous.
It was a
It was
beautiful
gorgeous.
day to go hiking. That's
We
definitely for
overlooked
sure.
all of Newburgh. It was beautiful.
Where'd you hike? Did you go up
Snake
Mount
Hill.
Beacon? Where?
Snake Hill.
Oh, oh, okay. So
It's a
you
local
was
hike. It's easier than Breakneck, and you get the Newburgh side instead of the Beacon side.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't. I did Mount Beacon once and I almost died.
Yeah, she was trying to go to Mount Beacon today. I said, "Girl, like this is like my first hike of the season. Let's take it easy. Let's go on a little like hill hike,
Yeah,
walk, like
yeah, just a little
fraudulent
incline.
mountain."
We don't have to go up a full-fledged mountain right off the bat.
That's how I was feeling because I would have passed out. So,
You'd have been like, "Yo, I don't know
hmm
about later, but I'm tired."
exactly that.
So I also um want to ask
Hmm.
you, growing, becoming a singer, and starting to find your craft. Was it something that was it natural, or did you have to take any lessons in order to, help study that, or was it just a natural thing for you?
So, I feel like I had like a natural innate gift, but the thing is though is that like I did have a lot of practice and training growing up, so it was a muscle I regularly exercised. However, now I have not been doing that same type of like practice.
Right.
So that's what I want to get into now on top of like um having a lot more melodies, harmonies, and just more sultry soul vibes in my music. So that's gonna take a lot of that work again. So it's about to restart. It's about to restart, honestly. Yeah. So it's about
Oh,
to be all of that all over.
oh, okay. So you're looking to,
Re be a student.
yeah, and it sounds like it's gonna be part of your
Yes,
evolution, like
exactly.
your evolution, and it also seems like you're still trying to find the right lane.
That's kind
You're
of what
trying to find the
it
right
is.
lane.
But also,
You
I have a very wide music taste. So it's like I've been like, joking with friends and stuff. Like we'll be listening to like our old favorite pop punk albums in the car. And I'll be like,
right.
I want to make a rock album. Like where the bands at? Or like I'm like, oh yeah, like this R&B soul album is hitting right here. I want to do something like that. So I really do kind of want to touch a lot of different genres and just have fun as a music artist. I don't want to really dedicate myself to a lane anyway right
Right,
now.
right. Like, I mean, you artists have to cross over.
It's true.
All of them. I mean, you can even take Lil Wayne, who made a rock album.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what I'm
like
saying. Went
like
hard.
you're like Lil Wayne and rock. You're like those two don't go together. But
I was confused.
you have to really find what works, and unfortunately, you still have to evolve.
Mhm.
Certain artists try to change, and it does not work.
Yeah.
You know, like Mary J. Blige, for example, had this song called "The One" with Drake.
Hmm.
It was terrible. It was awful. Like if you're in a club, it had a fat dun 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 dun, like an upbeat, up tempo song. Was like, bro, sis,
It
no,
was
just
terrible.
no. Like just stay in your lane, please.
That's fair
Stay
though.
stay in your lane. Don't try and go outside of your lane. Like stay in it. So you're trying to really find that as an artist and know where it is. Well, you're off to a great start. I can say that. I can say that you were definitely off to a great start. And I could tell that with your with your lyrics, seems like you have that you've written a lot. So that entices me to ask, what kind of poetry did you write growing up?
So, one of the first poems I wrote was about being with my family for Thanksgiving, because it was like a Thanksgiving poem like thing. But in the poem, I was talking about how like we sing and we dance and we talk and we share time, like, and so that was one of the first poems I remember, and that I still have a copy of somewhere. It's like in a file somewhere in one of my mom's cabinets. You know how that goes.
Of course.
Um, but so that was one of my first poems. But other than that, actually, I realized that like in my teen years, right, a lot of the stuff was kind of more blue and stuff. Like I've I've always and I still do have a problem with the state of society, the state of the world, the structures we live under and that we abide by and that we just allow. So a lot of my stuff has been geared towards that ever since like adolescence because with the knowledge came like I felt like the weight of just having that realization and not wanting to let that like slide under the rug. Like I don't want to keep like brushing that off. Like that's not reality.
Right.
And like a lot of the stuff that people look down on other people for is kind of like it's it's an outcome of those situations. So
Yeah.
I just kind of want to just remind people constantly, which is kind of annoying. But hey, I'm here. That's what I'm here to do. So it is what it
Well,
is.
you
Like
know, you have to really. It sounds like you live in a certain reality of how the world, like how you think the world should operate. And there's nothing wrong with that because there's a lot of problems in the world, a lot of problems, and we as people don't always have the answer. We don't always know the right thing to do or the right thing to say, and that's why I believe music is important, because even so you can get away from that reality, like even if it's for 3 minutes
right.
or 4 minutes. But sometimes music resonates with something you're going through or resonates with the world. Like there's so many different ways that people can do that.
Music is
And
still frequencies, and that's everything that makes up reality. It is what it is. Like Michael Jackson was like a worldwide superstar. Why? Like no, not everyone that listened to him knew English, but like they felt his music. Like,
yes,
you know?
like Michael Jackson is my favorite artist of all time. Like people will try to say someone's better. I don't debate it. I walk away. It's not a debate. It's not a conversation. There's nothing to be said. Like if you say Prince, I won't argue.
Right.
I'm okay with that answer. But if it's anything outside of that, it's not a conversation. It's just I'm just gonna walk away.
I gotta
Just walk away.
go now.
Like just like this. Peace. We're not having this
I
fight.
hear it.
Yes, yes, that is true. So I touched on this a little bit before. Um, if you weren't trying to pursue a singing career, because I know you work a regular job too, just like the rest of
Yeah.
us. But if you weren't trying to pursue a singing career, what would you be trying to attain as your career
So, I am very eccentric in general as a person. Um, I went to school for English,
Okay.
so I was contemplating being an author for a while. Like I do in general, like have a lot of poetry written. I am working on a book. However, like the short stories, they weren't doing what I need them to do. Like they weren't, I don't know, something about how I do it. It wasn't working right for me. So, I ended up doing education and then going back to just regular English. So I probably would have ended up sticking with teaching though. I probably would have ended up going to like graduate level and doing like college. Yeah,
Okay.
that would have been probably my path because I love learning. I love education. So like I probably would have did something like that and stuck there.
Okay, okay. So you would have liked to be a teacher in a way. You
Yes.
know, you wanted to one way or another. You want to help people.
Yeah.
That's the aura I get from you when talking to you and just listening to you is like your aura is to help people and and teaching is it's difficult because it's molding the next generation.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to teach children. Not the
You
babies. Not the
no,
babies.
no, no, because now these kids are being molded. They're
Yes.
not
Yes.
being molded.
Yes. Yes.
They're
I know what
not
you're talking
being molded.
about. I know what
Yeah,
you're talking
like
about.
that's the way. They're not being molded, and then some of the teachers, they don't have that same passion anymore
Yeah.
of teaching. They just rather say, okay, whatever, your kid's failing, yeah, not my problem. But you're the teacher, you
My thing
know?
with children is more like I'm big on self autonomy and you're not my child and I don't feel comfortable telling someone else's child what to do or to yell at someone else's child. So I'd rather be hands off when it comes to children unless you put me in charge of your child for that time being, then
Yes.
hey, get down or whatever. But other than that, I can't.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, Debo says the world needs good
It's
teachers. That's for
true.
sure.
It's
That's
true.
for sure. And then the ones that are good can't get a can't find a job all the time,
Yeah.
you know?
Or they don't have a livable salary, or the commute is too far, or there's a whole lot of stuff going on all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and exactly. It's sad. One thing that I want to know, and I'm sure the people want to know, is so I looked up the origin of the name Andromeda
Okay.
of like in Greek
Okay.
mythology. That's what comes up.
Yeah.
But what is the origin of your name and the spelling? Because it's different,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. So, the story does have a lot of weight in why I named myself that. I
Okay.
felt like, in general, with a lot of stuff I've been through, or a lot of the stuff I've witnessed, or a lot of the things I've realized about like life in general, I do end up feeling very tied down or very weighted by the reality that exists around me. But at the same time, like there is a freedom that comes. So, like, I like that symbolism. Plus, she's also the closest galaxy next to the Milky Way.
Okay.
So like that's insane to me. And they're also the same type of galaxy, which is a spiral, well, double spiral galaxy. And then there's also a constellation in the sky, which is not necessarily the galaxy.
All right.
So there's like a lot of different reasons. But as far as the spelling goes, I actually had one of my first producers I worked with, Tokes. He had recommended I have a differentiating factor because he had helped me set up my artist account
Yeah.
online. So in doing that, he was talking about how a lot of times new artists have problems with their music being listed under other artist names with similar spellings or similar
Mhm.
names, and to avoid that, they usually have differentiating factors, whether that be a letter that's actually a different letter, or like a number, or whatever the case may be. So
Right.
instead of the A, we went with V. But also, when I first started making music, I had went down to Vegas. I went to the desert in Vegas,
Oh,
and I had ran out into like a fossil field. And when I was there, I had dug out a crystal Merkaba from the desert. And so it was like the Merkaba is the Star of David, but 3D form. So it represents as above, so below. And
oh,
so like the whole thing felt full circle and like it felt meant to be. So people are like, change your
wow,
name, it's too hard. And I'm like, no, no, I can't. Like, this is my
wow,
name.
wow. That is wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow. That just blew my mind.
When I
Like,
went back to the producer's house with him, his wife, and some of the other girls in the collective, right? His wife goes, "You found sacred geometry in the desert?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, I did."
sacred geometry. Oh my god.
Yeah, I did. That's just what I do
Wow.
for fun.
This is what I do in my spare time. I
Exactly.
find I find inspiration, even if it's for my name.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow.
Also, like
That's
I'm a weirdo. Like I used to climb trees growing up, and like I used to climb to the top and wait for like the wind, and I would just like swing in the wind on the top of a tree. Like I don't know.
you weren't afraid that you would fall out the tree?
Yeah, I was, but I was like, I'm not. I was like, no, I'm good.
She like openly said I'm a weirdo. Like just there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, we're all
It's
weird in our own ways.
true.
And
It's
we
true.
and it's all about owning it. If you
Yeah.
own it, you
Yeah.
believe it.
I'm the type of weird that finds like, carved rocks in the desert and climbs to the top of trees and swings in the wind. Everyone has their own thing.
Listen, listen, I'm with it. Everyone does what they got to do.
Exactly.
Whatever you like to do in your spare time, that's okay with me. Like everyone has their own way of doing
It's
things. But the
true.
fact that you are, the fact that you said I'm a weirdo too. It goes hand in hand.
Yeah, that's true.
There's nothing wrong. He's laughing. Oh man. So I get this real, and I've heard you say you're a real spiritual person. And I get a really, but I do get a Devo, I'm weird too. We're all weird, bro. We
Me
gotta
too.
be guilty. Guilty. I said I get a real spiritual energy from you. And I feel like sometimes when I hear some of your songs, I go into like a trance. Like it's just like it's like I say, and it's not even cap. You have a unique
But I'm
sound.
not here to hypnotize. I promise. I promise the people.
She said I'm not here to hypnotize.
No.
She's like, I'm just trying to do my thing, just trying to put myself out there.
Exactly.
Oh man. But is that spiritual energy used in the music? Because if it's not, you're
So
just kind of just doing it. That's even like more
I
amazing. Like,
feel like it's not, and I want to get to that level. Like the thing is that I don't have music theory background. I don't understand. I don't understand necessarily like with harmonic scales. I don't understand like beats per minute, like, or cadences, or that type of stuff. I don't understand the technical components of music at the moment. Like that's why I want to become a student again, because I want to understand the components and I want to be a master. Like I want to put the pieces together, like intentionally, every single piece. I want it to be for a reason. And like I feel like at the moment I don't have the knowledge to do that. So I wouldn't say at the moment it is that, but with my lyrics, I make sure that it's very intentional and it expresses something that's very dear to me and the way I view the world, because I know that other people view the world the same way, because I've had conversations like randomly, just because we all are viewing the world or our existence the same way. And that's probably where that comes from. It's almost like I see you and you see me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, I I re-listened to all your songs yesterday, and like
Unreleased
sometimes,
too.
huh?
I said unreleased too. I'm
All of it,
teasing. I'm teasing.
all of it,
Okay.
all the smoke.
Okay, let's
But
go.
let me tell you, when I really really listen, like sometimes like you hear music, but like yesterday I was listening to Numbers,
That's yeah.
and I'm like, I'm just like I'm just saying to myself, I'm like, just hearing what you're saying and how like how you're explaining the message in the song. It's beautiful. And to hear you say you don't understand those things, I don't think I respect you want to be a student, but sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, I will say this, if you're trying to improve your craft, okay, I'm all right. But listen, I'm telling you, y'all gotta go and check out Numbers. Yeah, I'm heard. Listen,
That was one of
that's
my
an
more worldly partaking moments.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm hers. Like,
I had to let my ego roam a little bit because
you,
everything needed space and time to shine.
listen, you threw a little gangster in there.
Okay,
I
we
was
say
like,
Newberg what?
Jesus, like he just came in, like the beat dropped, and boom, you were there. I was like,
Motherfuckers,
oh,
motherfuckers. They
I'm.
think they know me.
I was just like, yo, she is talking that shit. I
I'm
love it.
crying.
I love it. I just so with the form of music, what inspired you to actually start recording your music? From what I'm understanding, and honestly, I can't even remember how we essentially crossed paths, but I just remember hearing some songs, and I know you've only been singing since the beginning of 2023. Well, correction, you've only been recording music, I'm sorry, since the beginning of 2023. But I want to know what caused you to, or what made you decide to do that, and and was it always something you envisioned yourself doing?
So it's so funny. I always wanted to be like a superstar, right? But I was like, it's either gonna be music, um, acting, or modeling. So I didn't like modeling too much because they were always like, "Oh, you gotta watch what you eat," and I want to eat steak and potatoes every night.
Uh,
So I was like, "No, I don't want that. I don't like that."
yeah, so
So,
listen,
and then I
yeah,
wasn't tall enough either to do the stuff that I thought was really cool. So I was like, "Screw that," right? And then also there was like this company one time that I had like signed up with or whatever. And when I looked at the online like castings in like the online booking portal,
yeah.
literally like it was giving like sex trafficking, like
Well,
it was like, come here and let us take pictures of your feet with honey, like, and I was like 15 or 16 years old. I'm like, I don't feel safe. I don't think I should do work with this company,
to
right? So
oh, that's so you're like, no. See, you're wise beyond your years because a lot of
I
people like,
said
oh, it's like,
I
oh,
said, what in what way could this be an advertisement for anything? Honey on your feet. That
well,
don't
mm,
you feel
no. That's yeah. See,
so
we yeah.
yeah, I wasn't feeling that no more. With acting, there wasn't anything like that, but with acting, it's just I didn't have the ability to get back and forth to casting calls all the time. I was just a teenager.
Right,
So like it wasn't gonna really work out. My parents, they had work and I had school. So like just working around that was hard. Sometimes me and my friends, we would go to casting calls for movies and stuff and be in like in movies as extras and stuff.
right,
And like our parents would like basically switch like who brings us or whatever. Um, and then there was also just music in general, and music just felt like the thing that always like allowed me to have a place, like a space, and it didn't feel like weird or uncomfortable because at the end of the day, I'm just expressing my truth. And if
Right.
you don't necessarily get along with that or like it, that's neither here nor there for me
Right.
because I did what I came to do. I came to express myself and to feel it and have fun, and that's what I did. So, yeah,
Well,
I feel like it's always
and then
kind of been music.
well, the other thing is you can't be told that you're doing something wrong.
Yeah,
Like if you're acting right, there's a script and there's a film and then there's directors and lights. You have to know which camera not to look
it's
at. And
true.
this there's a science behind it. Modeling, there's an even larger science
Mm-hmm.
behind it. Because same thing, you have to walk the right way and strut this and strut
Yeah.
that and turn this way and turn that way and then go here and go there, and your light has to hit at 87.27 degrees and that angle, and then I need it from this angle, and then you got to watch what you eat, and you got to eat a certain amount of the times a day. It's just
Right.
really a difficult lifestyle. you know, Devo says they got thick models now, though.
I'm crying. It's true. He really not
No,
lying. But
he's
unfortunately,
not.
in like runway, um, some commercial and some print, they still are very big on like the lean and tall type of
Yeah,
aesthetic. Yeah, because that's still kind of like I don't know, like a global norm, even though thick is coming in style.
and there, yeah, exactly. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that
It's just
logic or that
trends.
theory,
Yeah.
right? Because
Stop
everyone.
it, beautiful. Look at you. Look at Ariel. Check out her music, by the way. She's amazing.
Okay, all right. I'll have to check her out. That's a sign off. That sounds like a future guest, possibly
I
too.
love that. Yes.
That sounds like an accidental networking thing right there. You did okay. Okay, I will definitely. You know what? I'm going to add her on my iPad right
Do
now,
it.
so I don't forget. That's what I'm gonna do.
Welcome.
Yes. So, oh, hold on, iPad. Relax. So, um, when you started to make music,
Hmm.
right? Um, did you understand the business side of it? Like
No, no, no,
when
no, 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 no.
she's a eyes open, no,
I sure
like
didn't. You know what? The pandemic helped me with that. Um, I found out about this app called Clubhouse, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds so cool and so fun and so exclusive and da da da." So I was like asking everybody. I was like, "Yo, like you got Clubhouse? Invite me." Like nobody really had it in the area that I knew, like personally, besides someone that I had went to high school with, who was friends with someone I was dating at the time. So then we just all kind of added each other, and we kept adding people through that like network, and so I got on Clubhouse and I was in like all these music industry and networking rooms, and that's where I started learning the business. I took out a notebook, and like every time I got out of work, before I would make dinner, before I would start cleaning or shower or whatever I had to do for the day, I would get on Clubhouse for like an hour to 3 hours. I would network. That's how I got my first 1,000 followers. Like when I started making music, I had 900 followers. A year
wow,
later, I have 2,500. Yeah,
wow.
so it's like Clubhouse was a big part of helping me grow as an artist and have the information I needed to have, and I'm still not even completely there yet, I feel like. So I'm just going to keep on learning and just doing better as I go.
Well, the other thing is, from what I understand, I have no musical talent whatsoever
You never know.
at all. My buddy, God rest his soul, Naj Murph, always used to tell
Oh,
me, because
Naj.
yeah, that was my brother.
Yeah.
That was my brother. Look, hold on. Where the heck is it? Oh no! Oh,
Rest
there it is.
in peace.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but
Oh,
he's
I
up
do
there.
see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's up there on the wall. Yeah, yeah. We go. Me and him go way back. I used to write poetry growing up, and then I stopped. And he was just like, "Yo," I would let him read some of them, and he was like, "Yo, this one's good. You need to make this into a song." I said, "Bro, I don't rap." He goes, "Just do it.
Just do
It's
it.
gonna
Oh.
sound terrible. And he's like, and then just practice. And then once you get a flow, we'll record together. And I'm looking at him like,
Oh.
bro, no. And so I can honestly understand, not understand, but I honestly respect that, because the other thing is I know studio time is expensive. You,
Yeah, and I don't got an investor, so
yeah, especially as
I
an
be working doubles to give y'all some music.
you know. Listen, you be pulling them overnights straight into the day shift if you have
What would
to.
your rap name be? We got questions.
Oh,
We need answers.
oh man. See, I'm supposed to be doing the interviewing sometimes, but I try to make this a conversational piece as well. Um, I don't know what my rap name would be, man. I mean, I was given I was given a name. I won't say the full name, but I roll with it. M Willa. That's just
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
a friend of
And
mine gave
Willa,
me a, yeah, you don't want
you on
to know the rest.
the
It's
track.
Mike.
I'm crying. I like that.
Mike, Mike, shoot. Listen, man, one of my goals is become a motivational speaker.
That's
So
super
that,
dope.
that
That's
you know,
super dope. I
you,
love that.
you know, I'm trying. Devo, that's my number one supporter since I started doing this. Number one supporter. He don't miss a show. He don't miss a video.
Shout out to
He'll be
you.
coming on the show. He's got some stuff coming up too that he shared with me that I'm ready for. I can't wait to see it. So we're gonna be rolling. All right. So I gotta know,
Huh.
what is your what is your creative process like? So like when like, all right, I'm gonna put out a song.
Hmm.
Like a lot of artists have stuff in the repertoire. A lot of artists are, like sometimes like they get an idea and they're like, oh, I gotta write this down so I don't forget later. Like, like what's your creative process when starting to, want to make a song in a sense?
So I feel like it's very hit or miss. I'm a I gotta be in the mood for anything type of person. So like
Mm-hmm.
I will not do my homework until the day before because I wasn't in the mood the whole time.
Appreciate you, bro. Yes.
So like with that, it's just more like allowing myself to exist in those moments where I do feel it. So
Okay.
like even if it's for a second, like even if it's like I hear another song and I have a counter melody for that song, but it has nothing to do with that song. I don't want to make a cover of that song. I just like my counter melody and I want to take my counter melody that was inspired by that song and
Oh,
do something else with it. So like it doesn't matter what the time is like, but for that, for example, I'm in the car, I'm listening and there's a dope song and then all of a sudden my brain produces a counter melody that I fall in love with,
oh,
and now I take out my voice memo and I'm like I do it in the voice memo and then I label the voice memo
wow,
and then sometimes I add the voice memo to my notes under lyrics that I write out so that I know where things go and what pockets they hit. But also I do that
wow.
in Snapchat when I hear instrumentals. If I'm playing them from my phone, I record in Snapchat so I can get the visual and get the
Yeah,
audio.
yeah.
And then sometimes I share them so that people could tell me how they feel about it so I could see if I'm on the right track of something people will listen to. Things like that.
Wow, wow. So you'll get that, and then so you from that you start to you
I
like from
freestyle.
that. Yeah, so then you start to go and then you start to put together a song.
Mm-hmm.
Start to write it out and all that. Do you ever get like how can I put this? I'm trying to find the right words. Do you ever get like inspired? Like let's just say you're sitting there. How that's true, man. That is true. Do you ever get like inspired? Like you be like at work and then you just something just boom hits you and then you feel like you have to like write something or like on the spot or like the next free moment. Because
Yeah.
some people don't have that. I don't know if it's a gift or a curse. Some people just don't. They don't have that. They're just like, nah, man. I gotta sit down in my zone and I gotta write. you
I
know.
do have moments like that. I feel like a lot of times moments like that come from a mix between boredom and also like pure creation state. So like Sometimes I'll be sitting behind the front desk and all of a sudden I'll be kind of bored, but I want to entertain myself.
Mhm.
So I'll do a little boop bop, like a little
Yeah.
find a rhythm or hum to myself, and then I'll end up creating something really quick, whether it's like a nice verse or a nice melody or a nice possible beat loop, like
Okay.
things like that. Because I also work with some producers who would when you're in the studio, they'll help and they'll make a beat on the spot, so that'll be good for moments like that too.
Right. Right. Yeah, because sometimes when people put together music, right? And even if they like a prime example is take Jay-Z's American Gangster. You know that song on that album, Ignorant Shit with Beanie Siegel? Many people don't know that was actually a record recorded for the Black Album, which was released in 2003.
Oh.
American Gangster was released in 2007, but when he made that record, it didn't fit the concept of the Black Album. So
Mm.
he stashed it. And then when he stashed it, then it just seemingly happened. Sometimes when you're making a new album, it's not all new music. He just went through the repertoire and that kind of fit in. So, that's the thing. I mean, for you, even though I know that, you just started doing this, I'm sure there's some other stuff written down somewhere that we can look forward to because it's good stuff that you're doing for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I have the 5 songs that are out. I have like 10 songs in the cut, and
Okay.
then I have like five that are totally really bad, like so bad that they're never gonna. My dad has them, and we laugh about them sometimes together, but it's not for you, like everybody. It's not for you guys. I'm sorry.
Shout out,
Hey,
shout out to your dad because I see he
yeah,
was one of the first people that liked the
um,
videos that I started sending. He be showing his support on Facebook.
it's
He
true.
loves his baby girl.
It's
He
true.
tags her. He don't care what no one has to say. You are the apple of his eye. That's for sure.
It's true. But that's good. He's
Shout
saying all
out
that.
to him. I don't know if he's watching, but if he does, I'm sure he'll watch it back.
And
And
Will.
yeah, yep, he'll watch it back the whole thing. Oh, do you ever, while creating or while writing, ever get writer's block? And if you, or discouraged, or do you get writer's block and then get discouraged?
Okay, so yeah, actually, so that has a lot to do with what I was talking about being in the mood. Like, so I'm an avid smoker. I'm trying to slow down. I've been doing all right, but I'm a big smoker.
Like cigarettes or like
No, I quit smoking cigarettes. I used to smoke cigarettes.
okay, so we talking the
Like,
weed.
yeah.
As Stephen A said, you got to put down the weed, and it looks like it's hurting your heart.
It is. It hurts. It hurts. But I feel it, like everything in my body is also like, Brianna, stop it. Put it down. So I'm like, let me be good and listen to me and my family. Let's do it. So slowly but surely that's stopping. Um, but yeah, I usually smoke and stuff. So like I said before, I freestyle a lot of my music and then I'll kind of fill in whatever's missing with like actual writing. But I get discouraged when I freestyle sometimes with people because usually I like to freestyle like with friends and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So like sometimes it'll be annoying because like being perceived can alter my flow state. So it's like I'll be chilling, like I'll be super chill, like I'm super calm, just being me, like living my life. Everything's golden, right? And then I'm
Yeah,
like, I notice I'm being perceived like someone's actively watching me and thinking about the things I'm doing
yeah.
in their own mind. I'm like, what is going on in there about me? Like,
What are you thinking? Because I know there's something in there you're thinking that I don't know, but I know that you're thinking it because I can tell by your facial expression that you're
exactly.
thinking it.
And so I'm like, oh my God. And it starts freaking me out. And so that's where I try to be more present and like existing in my body in the moment. Because when I exist in my mind, I do things like that. Wonder what's going on in other people's mind when that's not
Uh-huh.
none of my business. So Yeah, that's where the writer's block comes in sometimes if I'm like freestyling with like other people. Otherwise, sometimes I'll just have writer's block because um since I freestyle, if I play the beat and if nothing happens, it don't happen. And so I'm like, well, all right. So then I'll probably smoke, go for a walk, or I'll just like literally do the most outlandish things. Like I'll like try to rap and stuff. You know what I mean? So so yeah.
You be trying to get it too.
I gotta get somewhere. It gotta
But
come out. So
but
however I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna get there. Like
but here's the thing. On Yeah, I'm Her, when you dropped in, it kind of sounded like you had a flow already. Like I can there's a rapper inside of you, like just like this, just ready to
fuck
just like
some shit up.
yeah, like I could
Yeah.
see
Well,
her in
let
there.
me let me line up some ghostwriters and we'll talk about a rap album or something. But as for right now,
Oh, it don't have to be an album. Like, listen.
okay, just a record, a nice
Yeah,
rap
like
record for the
listen,
fans. One time for the one
listen.
time.
Mary J. She's got Brooke.
Tatiana Music just stepped in the room. She's another dope artist, 15 years old and shining like
Oh,
nonstop, grinding.
all right. I'm writing it down right now to
Yeah.
check it out. You trying? Yeah, you networking here. So listen. That's another possible guest. I'm with it. I'm with it. Yeah, no, like I'm telling you, there's a rapper. I feel it. I hear it. Like, listen,
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I've freestyled and I really fucked up. Like I fucked up a freestyle before like crazy. Off the strength of being like in the zone and having some shit to get off my chest. But as for real life rapping and other people to hear me do it, I don't know.
uh, yeah. I mean, listen, it's all about when. I mean, you take it right, and it's all about the same thing like you're doing with the music you do now. It's about studying your
It's true.
craft. You might because think about like this, and it's actually funny because I actually had to write like okay, I got a list of notes here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, I got a list of notes, and on my original sheet, I actually had want to talk about adobo jigs.
Uh,
So, but not yet, because just because we're talking about rapping, it was in here. I just didn't write it down here. You might say to yourself, you might say to yourself one day, you might have a song. You're like, man, I could use a rapper on this song, right? And then you might just say, I can
I'll
use
do it.
yeah. Yeah, it's like you'd be like, yo, I'll use myself. You come up with a verse, you get a flow going, and you just go with it. So I mean you just never hey Christina, you just never know. You just never know what we're capable of. Like, that's one thing I
It's
tell people is
true.
that the mind is more powerful than we think. That we're in able we or like I think it's not the fear that we won't succeed, it's the fear that our mind is stronger past belief. So meaning that you can accomplish something so well, so powerful and make such an impact that it scares you. And people when I say that, people are like, wow, that's kind of deep. I'm like, I don't know if it's deep, but it's how I think.
No, I agree
you
with
know.
that. I agree with that because then what do you do with the responsibility of the new level you've acquired? Can you maintain that? It's like, do you want to fail yourself by trying to get there and then not being able to maintain that? That's a real fear.
Right. And like I look at myself, as an example of someone who like I told myself this year I was gonna grab this year by the throat and I was going to and we talked about it actually. We have had many discussions about taking it by the throat and just
Yeah.
making it my own. Like, look, this is my vision board. I know you can't really read it.
I love it
It's
though. I see it.
still
A lot
it's a
going
little
on.
little incomplete, but
Mm.
we're making stuff happen. We're making stuff happen, and that's all I'm saying is you never know. So
Mm.
you can it can be. you can just create an alter ego, Andromeda,
I've
and
been considering that, but I also I don't think I'm built for a compartmentalization of my psyche.
what? What? The choice of words used there, I wasn't prepared for.
I just don't think I'm built for that type of psychological breakdown. So,
You you never know. So right now, since I brought him up, Adobo Jigs, I went to school with him,
super dope.
and like middle school, we've known each other since North High.
Uh-huh.
Like yeah, like to the point where like I know his legal name, like
I hear you.
you know, like
When I found out his name, I was like, "What?"
yeah, like yeah, I remember he was always a good dude. And you know what's funny is he is coming on this show.
Dope.
He is coming on
Love
this show down the
it.
road. And but I want to know because you guys have a very close relationship. You both do music so well. Well, how did you and him become friends, and has he helped you
So,
like with this? Because I mean, listen, shout
yes.
out to Adobo Jigs,
Shout out to Jigs.
BB,
Facts.
BBO's the jump off.
Nah, but so yeah, it was crazy. What happened was when I started making music, I started making music like 2022 for
Okay,
2023. And during that time, my cousins, they were in the studio a lot, and he's cool with my cousins, my big cousins.
okay,
And so I had went to a session with my cousins to work on some music with them. And it was crazy because I think they went live or they found out that I went to the studio and then I had posted some clips and whatnot. And so he was like, "Oh, like you make music and you they little cousin, like we basically fam, like we all like yo come to a studio session with me." He was like, I could use a female vocalist on top of the fact that like you saying you don't know what to do or you don't feel comfortable, just come vibe out in the studio, get comfortable, do a few takes. And he did that with me like nonstop. Like it was like every week he's like, "Yo, what days are you free? Come with me to the studio. Yo, what days are you free? Come me to the studio." And we did us just smoking, chilling, a few sips in a booth, like
yeah,
chilling, like. And that made me comfortable to try things in the studio, made me comfortable to record in the studio, made me not so nervous about not being perfect when I'm laying down vocals, because that's what takes are for. You know what I
right.
mean? Things like that, like get comfortable and know what you're gonna do and then do it, execute. And that's kind of it. And so he helped me out with a lot of that. And I don't think I would have been as I wouldn't have gone as hard or wouldn't have been as confident if it wasn't for working with Jigs in the beginning. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you can see even when I see you guys perform your song, Be My Valentine, check it out. Dope
Facts.
song. Um, that there's a vibe there and something a bond more or less. A bond that's forever that can't be broken. So shout out to him. Shout out to him because that's a beautiful thing to have someone to kind of help you get through that.
Nah, I agree. I'm forever grateful because I feel like while other people are trying to get me in the studio and trying to either like use me for my vocals or just get next to me and be weird, like he was never on no weird time, and I appreciate him more than he probably even realizes for all that. Like just being genuine and just, you know?
Yeah, because yo, listen, yo, people be weird, and you like to do the Vegas and Arizona, and there's a little note about Dallas in here a little later that I picked up on.
What are
Yeah,
you talking?
I did some homework. Did some homework,
What are you
like I
talking
said.
about? What are you talking about?
Yeah. So yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully I'm not being weird. I'm just trying to do the job.
Nah, you're
You
not
know.
being weird. Shit's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, because
it's crazy to say the least.
dudes be weird. Like you said, just trying to like, hey, like, nah, bro, it ain't that kind of party. Like, we're good.
Yeah, yeah, hella good, hella good.
So what I want to know
What's up?
is also, obviously, I can see when you perform that you have a stage presence. When you're watching a performer, yeah, they're singing or they're rapping or whatever they're doing is important, but stage presence is everything. If you ain't got no stage presence, the people ain't gonna be into you. You definitely have it. So, was it something you learned? Was it something you picked up on? Or was it kind of like, hey,
I
you
am
know,
going to have to say thank you again to Adobo Jigs because he introduced me to V Henny.
okay,
She has a platform called the Artistry Entertainment,
okay,
and through that platform, which I performed with that platform 3 different times, um, she actually has given me vital feedback. While other people have given me feedback, she gave me feedback in the way that it resonated, and I felt like I owed it to myself and to her for seeing that in me and for helping me grow as an
okay.
artist to do better and to hone those skills a little bit more. And even now, even though like I do have the knowledge of what I should do, even now sometimes, I won't be perfect every time. I mean, perfect doesn't exist anyway. But
Right.
yeah,
You have to be. It's really just adding layers onto it
yeah,
because sometimes it don't certain songs don't call for interaction like that.
that's true
Certain
too.
songs call for you to hone in, and it's all about if you're doing a set, right? If you start, you have to really do it the right way if you want to get use a song that gets people into the mood, and
Hmm.
then if you want to speed it up and then slow it down, or you want to start slow, rise up, and then go fast. All depends on the show and how you're really feeling that night and what's in your set. Like many people don't understand that, and it's funny. I actually learned or got that idea from a DJ.
Aw.
You know, because studying I'm like because like I said to him, "Yo, why don't you play this song?" He goes, "Because I just slowed it down." He's like, "If I play that song, it throws off my science. I have to you get songs to get back to that point." And doing a set's kind of like the same thing.
Hmm.
You don't want to hear Usher jump from yeah to let it burn, like
I get it.
like
Get it.
so that's definitely great because you definitely have a great stage process or definitely great stage presence for sure.
I
Of
appreciate it.
course. So you talked about your writing process, but I want to know of all the songs that you have written,
Hmm.
what has been the hardest one?
The hardest one.
Meaning the hardest one to write. Like you knew kind of like you had something, like you're like, oh, this is good. I got something here, and then it's just like, it's like I'm having a hard time getting this song to where I want it to be.
It was a song that I didn't put it out yet. It's unreleased. It's called Left for Dead. Well, that's what I named it anyway. That's not anywhere in the chorus. That's just the first bar of the song.
Right.
But that song, it was really emotional. Like it was really emotional, and like I feel like it's not even finished getting recorded right now. And whenever I went to record it, I just kept crying in the booth, so I had to stop.
She
I
said I
was
was
like,
crying.
get me out of here, cause I'm gonna waste all my money. I didn't come here to cry.
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
come here to
Came here to
cry.
record a song, not be in
Exactly.
tears.
Exactly. I was getting mad. Like I was like, it was toddler vibes in there. Like I was crying, then I'm getting mad. I'm crying. I can't stop crying. I'm
Oh
like,
man. And then you're like, now I can't even sing because I'm all emotionally distraught.
exactly. Jawzilla was like, Brianna, just relax. It's okay. Just relax. I'm like,
You're like, Okay.
Yeah, basically, okay, okay, leave me alone now.
I don't want to be bothered anymore.
Yeah, I was ready to leave. I was like, yeah, I'm about to pack it the fuck up and go
Like,
home.
peace. That's it.
Exactly that.
I'm done. Oh man. Well, uh, um, who are some of your inspirations, musically and poetically?
So I can't say poetically much. I don't I wasn't that deep diving into it, but I do like the beat poets a lot. I feel like Amiri Baraka
Okay.
was an amazing poet. And I like his stances on things. He's kind of like a revolutionary himself. Like he had a lot of things he wanted to change and shed light on when it comes to like the struggles of people,
Okay.
specifically black people.
Yeah.
And I like I like creative modes that help spread a message and spread light on topics that people typically overlook. So I really loved him. Outside of that, I can't really say anyone has touched me too much. Um, but then there's also musicians like, well, music artists like Lauryn Hill, Erica Badu. I feel like that's like a little typical, but it's true. It's like the way the music feels, the message that they're sending, what they're saying, like that
Hmm.
all is really inspiring to me. Um, and that's what I aspire to get to too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that it's good to have those inspirations. Erica Badu is definitely not talked about enough. Um, she definitely is not even mentioned enough because she is
Hmm.
phenomenal. Like dudes and sisters, we was all calling Tyrone. Okay,
It's
like
true. It's true.
like come on, we was all calling Tyrone. We all know, we all know, and that's definitely, yeah. But once again, see, the thing about her was, if you notice when she performed, she stood in one spot because that's what
Yeah.
her music attested to.
Yeah.
One spot, and she just, as you said, you're not trying to do. She hypnotized people.
I hear you. It's
She
true though.
she she hypnotized
Hmm.
people for sure. Yes, yes. So, in a prior interview that you did, I heard you talking about um how you created your own tour of music. How you
Yeah,
how you went out and you found gigs and you went and you found places to perform.
it's
Tell me
true.
about that. And tell me
So
about
again, I gotta say, hats off to Adobo Jigs. Like, nah, I'm serious. Like, he's like, come on, sis. Like, you gotta stay moving. Like, I'm proud of what you're doing. Keep going. Like, and I did. I took that serious. I was like, nah, you're right. Like we're from the same city. You love music just as much as I do. You've been working, and like I admire that. And so I'm working, and then like we're putting each other onto like different people who are doing shows, or like posts that's like, oh, we got a free slot here, or like um if you win this showcase, then you get this, you know what I
yeah.
mean? So there's been times where I've won podcast placement, I won interviews, things like that, from just showing up
Wow.
and doing the best I could do, you know. So yeah, we ended up finding ways to get shows and ways to network outside of this area. I do want to focus a little bit more on this area too, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's where home is where your heart is, you
Yeah,
know? Home is where your heart is. And you know, obviously you said you networked
yeah.
and you were able, which was the next question. Did you use those opportunities to network and did it lead to larger opportunities?
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
which which leads me to this question. Now, maybe my timing's wrong. I don't know when this interview took place, but you said it on an interview with Big Veg, and you tell me about the rap battle in Dallas last month, where you were the performer.
So there is a lot that could be said.
Okay,
Um, I did not end up doing that show.
really?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So I did not end up doing that show. I'm not gonna get into reasons due to contracts
No,
and
no, no, no. We don't want to. We don't want you to be getting sued
um
for that.
yeah, but let's just say due to that situation, I'm taking some time off from performing.
Okay,
Um, I'm gonna be taking some time off from performing unless it's with people I've already built an established relationship with. Um, and so I'm going to be focusing more on making music and also visuals and also social media presence.
okay,
So I'm going to be focusing more in those realms, and I'm probably going to be focusing as well on how to curate a location for virtual shows.
okay, okay. Well, one thing I can say is when you talk about this is learning the business side of things. Um,
Yeah, the part I wasn't too familiar with, which is how I ended up in that situation.
right. Sometimes things don't work out,
Hmm.
and sometimes things fall through. You know, and even like even with different things, you know, even with me right now trying to build this show, right? You
Hmm.
know, I have a list of people,
Yeah.
right? I have a list of people. And let's see. And when you have that list of people, you know, oh, there it is. That's the list there.
Aw.
That's the list of
I love.
people. The check marks on this side who are these all these people have agreed to be on. These people I've already interviewed or have set dates for. But now some of them it's just like, well, I can't do that day. I go to work. Well, you know, now it's like, okay, well, if you can't do that day, if you can only do weekends, okay, maybe I'll do a Sunday edition of the show. You know, so we can have you on. And you know,
Yeah.
so you know, sometimes you just really have to learn. Well, sometimes you just really have to adapt to these things. Because unfortunately, nothing's guaranteed. The only thing guaranteed in life is death and that you
Mm-hmm.
will pay taxes.
You sure? I bet you we could find a few people that ain't never pay no taxes.
Okay. Uh, yeah. I mean, if we're
Not
talking
too
about
many.
a certain type
A certain
of people,
type of people.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't want to get shut down before
We
I get
good.
started,
Yeah, we
you
good.
know. So, you know, because, you know, Kanye got shut down for posting that kind of stuff, saying those kinds of
Oh, oh,
things.
oh, got you, got you, got you.
Yes,
Tax evasion.
yes. Yes, you know, so and it's the same thing with what's your name? Kyrie Irving. He also posted something and you know, the people didn't like it too much.
Yeah, yeah. The people don't like a lot of things.
No, 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 and
The people hardly like themselves.
word, word, they really do. They really hardly like themselves.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Exactly. So I know you putting out the singles, and they're great, but you know the fans are gonna want to know when can we. You already know the question coming. I can see it in
I
your
know,
face.
I
You
know.
know, and I know you've been working on an EP.
Hmm.
So what can you, without obviously giving away too much, what can you say? How's that coming along, and when can we possibly expect to see it?
Okay, so it's coming along all right. It's a little bit slower pace than I had expected. Only because a lot more kind of goes into a longer length project than I realized at first. So I was thinking like first quarter, but I'm thinking quarter two. Well, no, I know for sure by quarter two, it'll be here. I
Okay.
just have to figure out um the order of visuals alongside that. So that's really what I'm trying to figure out. But yeah, so quarter two for sure. So between April, January, March, April, May, June, April, May, June,
Oh,
within those 3 months.
so that's summertime.
Yeah.
That's perfect. And how many songs roughly are you thinking you will have on this? Because some EPs have 5 songs, some have as many as 8 or 9.
Yeah, so I was thinking more along the lines of like 5 to 7.
Okay.
And then there's also gonna be like a single or two coming out around the same time. That's gonna be separate. Just
Okay.
because it doesn't fit the vibes, but I want it for summertime because we got some
Right.
summer vibes coming too. So yeah.
Absolutely. And it's always good to put out something to give fans to see or to hear to ready it, even if it's not on the actual project.
It's true.
You know, like like sometimes some they'll have a big an artist will have a big hit and it's just like that's not on the
Yeah.
project. What do you mean? Like what do you mean you didn't put
Or
it? How
like
did not make the
when
yeah,
like a artist has a really good song, but it's just that one song for
right.
now, and it's like I need more. I need more. There's that too.
Yeah. Right, because it's just like, like it's just like I like how you gonna leave me like that?
Right.
Like like what do you mean there's no more album or no more record? This is upsetting. I think but the key is when you do that, it's wise because you don't want to give too much.
Mhm.
A lot of artists have and not so much anymore because of the way the music industry has changed. Unfortunately for people in your position, it's not good. It's very hard because people don't make money off of solely their records anymore.
Right.
It's it's Naj told me the one day I said we were talking about something. He goes, "Listen, man, Apple Music sent me my little $8.22 the other day," and I looked at him and
Yeah.
I was like, "You're joking." He's like, "My man opened his phone, pulled out his bank account,
So that's
and
how I
he
know I'm doing good. Cause you know why? Cause I made $5.
she You get listen, we all gotta start somewhere.
It's
We
true.
all gotta start
It's,
somewhere.
it's
Five
true.
dollars,
I
eight
got
dollars,
my nick bag.
$13.
No.
Like what little bit of extra stuff you got, bro, that like
Right.
pass it along.
I'm crying. Definitely
Like
not that.
but you don't want to oversaturate either because that's the thing too. Like sometimes like I hear an album and I'm like, dang, 9 songs,
Well,
ten
do you
songs.
remember when Chris Brown dropped the like 40-track album? You remember that?
Listen, he did the Heart on a Moon. That was what was it, like 57 songs,
Oh, he did
and then he dropped
three
a
times.
and then no, he did 4 albums like that.
Oh,
Yo, that happened to
and
me.
where'd the
That happened to
balloons
me.
come from?
I don't know. It happened to me the other day on my sports show. I said to my co-host, I'm like, yo, bro, did you see those balloons? He goes, I did. Where did they come
My
from? I said, I don't
my
know.
phone keep putting motherfucking balloons in my face. I didn't put them there.
Yo, no.
I don't
First of
like
all,
that. Cause who's in my phone?
yeah,
I
like
didn't
the
press that shit.
government's definitely watching. You know. They're gonna watch this back like, oh, she gangsta.
Fuck them.
So no, Chris Brown, he had the Heart on the Moon. Then he re-released it. Then he had Indigo that had like 30 something songs, and then he did
Clean.
another one with 50. Then he did. There was another album before the last one, 1111, which consisted 22 songs. But it's just like. But the thing is he put out all this music and none of the songs are bad.
I
Like
don't even know. I don't even know my favorite songs that was singles by the name or the artist. I'm not gonna remember my favorite songs off of a 50-track album. I'm not
and
personally.
it's one of those it's one of those things where you can't even, you don't even go back and listen to it again. You kind of give it one go through and then that's it
I
because
did
it's
it.
so, because it's yes. It took me 3 days to listen to
Type
those
shit.
albums.
I believe it.
So for him, because he's an established artist, Chris Brown is definitely one of my favorites.
He's amazing.
You know,
He's talented.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, and but he's an established artist, so
Also,
you don't want to. Hmm?
I said yeah. Also,
Yeah, yeah, so people are gonna just get it. You just don't want to oversaturate, but you don't want to not give enough either. But I think you're gonna find the the um the aura which works for you. You're on your way. You got some ideas, and which leads me to, you were talking about a book of poems. So when can we expect the book of poetry, and how many poems will be in this book
so
possibly?
I wanted to do like 100 and change, but I think I'm gonna do smaller books. I'm probably gonna do three, and the first part of the book, so part one of the poetry book should be out, I would say by November, December of this year.
Okay, is it going to be a physical book
Yeah.
or okay? Because nowadays people's attention spans are short.
I'm sorry, but personally, I hate ebooks.
Mhm.
I will read an ebook if I have to, but I don't usually get around to reading them. And then once I read past certain parts that I really am interested in, I don't go back to read them because I don't like reading in a screen. I just don't. I like having physical copies. I like paper.
Yeah,
So I would just want to have that medium um as my preference. So it's gonna be a physical hard copy.
it's funny you say that because I have I have a Class A license, right, to drive trucks,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking to add endorsements onto my license just to kind of have them.
Right.
Better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them.
Right.
So, like, my buddy's like, yeah, use the DMV or the CDL Genie app on the phone. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, yo, I just can't, because on top of that, when you're on your phone, notifications pop, it's easy to get sidetracked. I'm like, I'd rather have the physical book,
Mm-hmm.
because I could put the phone somewhere. Usually it rings anyway, but I'd rather have the book so I can concentrate on the book. But even still, some people like audiobooks now as well.
I don't like that.
You know,
Right.
some people like to listen to books. I find that strange, but
And then Tom went to the car. Like it's too slow. I can't. I'm like, what? Then what? Then what?
you listen. You sitting there like this, like it's a movie, right?
Yeah. I'm like, hello.
Oh man, oh man, yeah, no, well that's great to hear. One of the other things I wanted to talk about is you mentioned you're an actress as well.
Yeah.
So what for you? Well, because you talk about a lot of visuals, but what has enticed you about acting, and will we be seeing you on the screen soon?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm the lead in a film right now.
okay,
It's called Dear Toya.
okay.
And it's about an upcoming music artist and like her battle with like trying to make it.
They picked the perfect person.
Right.
They picked the perfect person. Wow.
I'm
So
super excited about that one.
wow. So you've already started filming, or
We did not start filming yet. We're probably gonna do filming in the summertime. I'm gonna be heading
okay,
down to Pennsylvania to do
okay,
filming. Um,
okay.
yeah, but so yeah, it's crazy though because so obviously like I don't have a child, right? So I have
Yeah,
no baby father, I have no baby, right?
right.
But in the movie, I have a baby father, so I get a little taste of what they be dealing with.
Oh, shit. Listen, you sure you want that smoke? Because let me tell you, it ain't easy for us.
I believe you. I believe you. No baby father slander.
Yeah, it ain't easy. I gotta say though, My ex is cool. We cool.
That's
So
good. I love
so
that.
I
Ain't nothing
got
wrong with co-parenting.
we wasn't always cool, but eventually we figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, we all gotta grow up someday. It's okay. I'm still doing a
Exactly.
little
So wow.
growing myself.
Li- Listen, we all there's many ways to grow.
Right.
Many ways, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So many ways to grow. And we have to find the way to get there. This is beautiful. This is I'm looking forward to that. So roughly, if you probably don't know, but I'm gonna ask, roughly,
Mhm.
when could we see that possibly?
He said the director said that he's shooting for everything to be done and like sent out by the end of the year. So I would say next year. I would say next year, so 2025. It should be completed and submitted to festivals and yeah.
Yeah, no, sounds like 2025 is gonna be your year.
Yeah.
No, I mean it sounds like you're building through this year, and and you're only going up. You're
Yeah.
ascending. You're ascending, and you're doing so many things that's really really great.
I'm just trying to solidify certain lanes and certain I guess certain sounds and feelings from Andromeda. Like I want to make sure that Andromeda is sticking to the plant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that's why I did my vision board.
Oh,
Sticking
that's
to
right. I know that's
sticking,
right.
because like someone said to me, well, I did mine on my phone, but see, once again,
The
like
the electronic stuff
it it's a difference when you actually read it like from a book,
and writing.
and it's a difference when you write it. I feel like when you're writing it, you're gonna stick to that plan, or stick to that path, or stick to that lane. So, it's important that we as people really do that. And a lot, and this world's gotten lazy. It's gotten, it's gotten sad how lazy people really are, including young people, because they're
Including
lazy too.
me. I,
But
I just went on my first hike in forever.
but that's not laziness. That's just
Life maybe.
yeah,
It
life.
could be.
Listen,
It could be. You're giving me too much credit.
listen. You're acting, and you're performing, and you're making music, and
Okay. Fine. I'm not giving
doing
myself enough credit.
double shifts,
Yeah, to give y'all music. Remember that.
and, also I heard in an interview you stated something about bartending.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I bartended at the same job I'm working at now, right?
Okay.
But then I got the front desk position. But when I was a bartender, you would never believe the things I saw. Because I was a bartender at a hotel. A bartender at a
Oh,
hotel.
oh boy,
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And
Almost one time there was like, oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this,
oh,
but
oh, well, I'm invested now, and the viewers are too. You got to say it
so
now.
one time I was working the bar, right? And like you know how they do like them air shows?
Okay.
There was like a 80-year-old man who was like a jet pilot and he was gonna do the air show and he was the drunkest man in the whole bar and he was doing backflips with his airplane the next
Oh
day.
my
And
gosh.
I was his bartender. I didn't know if I was allowed to give him drinks. I was so confused. I was like, this doesn't seem safe. He's like, you know what I'm gonna do tomorrow? I'm like, what? He's like, I'm gonna stall my engine 7,000 feet in the air and do a backflip. And
You're like, bro, no, that's terrible.
I'm like, no, you're drinking too much to be doing backflips with no engine in the air. I don't want you to do that.
I can't have this on my conscience. Like, you're gonna read in the paper, old 80-year
I
old
was
man.
scared. I was scared because I heard like the year or two before someone had died. Like, and I was like, no, I don't want to be the reason this 70-year-old, 80-year-old man doing backflips with his plane in the air don't make it.
Like he got some grandkids, I'm sure. Maybe you're some great grandkids. Like, bro,
Probably
like, yeah, no. I
that's
mean,
the
but
scariest.
once again, that's something you have in your repertoire. If you ever needed it, you ever needed it. And I mean, I'm sure you've seen some wild stuff, especially, you know, I'm a man. I've been to bars. Men hit on bartenders. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. And sometimes it don't matter what she looks like. You get enough drinks.
Hmm.
The more, one of my friends said, the more I drink, the better she
Yeah,
looks.
I heard that one before. Scary, scary.
But we're almost to the end here. Can we expect some merchandise from you?
Yes, I've been working on merch so hard the past
Oh,
month actually.
okay.
So yes, merch is loading. I'm just getting my website worked on. Well, I'm about to start getting my website worked on actually from one of the guys in our group chat.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, so I'm going to be working on that next and then the merch will be ready to go. I just have to get the shop front ready.
Okay.
Hmm.
Listen, so that's gonna be something to look forward to, because it's
Yeah.
once again it's giving
And I'm going
someone.
to be collabing with local artists. So stay tuned.
Did you just breathed the last question on the list.
Yay.
Who would you like to work with?
So Um, I would still really like for Soleil and I to put out our song because we like when we first started hanging out maybe like a year and a half ago when we was working on that song, we was like chilling, freestyling and whatnot, working on a song together, and I love that piece. I love it so much. Sometimes I go into my email and play it, and it's like raw. Like I recorded it in the car, and the beat was playing on the radio, and we were just singing over the, you know what I mean? But I
Yeah,
play it sometimes, and like I hope we can actually get that done. But also, let's see, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think that's the top of my list right now.
that's the top of your list. You and Saleha to put out
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
song. That would be great because she's also coming on this show at
Oh,
some
I
point
love
down the
that. I love
line.
her. She's
And
helped me a lot too, from like performance etiquette to microphone etiquette to like just being more present during like performing.
yeah,
But
I
yeah,
knew what you meant.
performancing.
Performancing. She's like, that's what I do. I'm going performancing tonight.
You know
That's
me.
that's what I'm going to do. Performancing. That's really really great to have. And it gives you something to look forward to.
It's true.
And Devo, my phone froze for mad long. I missed the last 25 minutes. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Well, I guess I just had a question in my head that wasn't here, and it just slipped my mind by reading that comment. Oh, what what keeps you motivated, and what keeps you hungry to keep going?
Um, so I think it's just the fact that I know that I'm a hard worker and I know that I have a good heart and a big heart, and I know that I want to see people win, and I know that I want to spread love and spread knowledge. So I feel like with those combinations, I can't lose. So I'm not gonna give up. That's all. I can't lose. So if I don't stop, I will not lose. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my favorite rapper is Nas, and he had this line in this song called what the heck was the name of that song? Don't remember the name of the song. It's a great song, but he said, and he opens up his verse by saying, "It's cool to love to win, but it's better to hate to lose. There's only one Nas. There's about 100,000 yous." And what I take that to mean is like, you are the one and only you. There's no
Mhm.
one else like you. There's no one else who's going to be like you. And you have to keep that grind going, and just keep that hunger and that energy and that love for seeing people win, because I was supposed to come out and shoot some photos of you until something happened.
Right.
You created the group we have. The creators of today and tomorrow. So you're definitely finding ways to put people together and network them because
Mm-hmm.
it's important. It's important to support people because I would much rather, like, when I need something, I would much rather have someone I know do a job for me.
Yep.
That way they get put out there, and then that way, I get what I need, and they got a job
Exactly
from it.
that.
Like for example, I have a backdrop that I had made, just haven't been able to get around to getting it. But a friend of mine made it. So guess what? Once I get it, it'll be right behind me in the
Mm-hmm.
video. I will shout out to her for it. And just like LT did the logo for this show. I mean, we just
Super
have
dope.
to support. We just have to support each other
Exactly.
and just keep pushing a positive narrative. So there's one thing that I do that I like to do, and I meant to tell you this before, but I forgot. I like to end my show with my guests leaving off with a positive ending message.
Okay.
So anything positive you have to say can be in terms of this interview, life, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
What would your positive ending message be to the audience and to people in general?
I want to say that whatever it is that you believe in, whether that is God, the universe, um, your own self and your morals, like whatever it is, whatever you believe in, I want to say listen to the North Star within you, right? Listen to that guiding light, that voice, the one that feels like intuition, the one that you feel like you can trust. I say listen to that because if you give into that every time, you're gonna see how your life can turn around.
Wow, that's beautiful. You got to listen to that heart and listen to that star inside of you because it'll never steer you
Exactly.
wrong. So where can everyone who may not have you follow you? Because everyone should follow her. If you don't follow her, tell them where they can follow you on all
All
platforms.
right, y'all. So once again, my name is Andromeda. You can find me on music platforms at ANDROMEDV. I'm gonna put that in the chat for y'all.
Okay.
And then, as you see there, my name is gonna be at underscore VNDROMEDV, and that's gonna be all social media sites.
Everywhere. And go listen to her new
That
song
dropped
that
last
came
night.
that came
I'm
out last night.
cool on all platforms. Link in bio.
Yes, you can find her everywhere. I want to thank you.
Thank you.
I was looking excited to this for this. Like I said, I hope that you have nothing but success. I'm here for the ride. I love you. I'm glad you're
I
here.
love.
And we will talk soon. Thank you, everyone, for joining me here on episode 3 of Honest Hour. The promotion for next week's episode will be going up right after I end this video. So much love, positivity, and I'll see you guys next week right here, Instagram Live, 8 p.m. Bye.
Bye.